It actually just happened. This is the happiest I've been in a long time. Quite literally, ever since we saw the announcement that PlayStation is going to be ending physical games in 2028, I was a little bit disappointed and worried that maybe we're going to be going into a full digital future. But it seems like that's not the case. Nintendo has been making the right moves to preserving physical media, which is definitely really crazy. And now Xbox has just jumped on the train and dropped a bombshell that has really made a lot of fans happy. Your discs are now also digital. This is quite literally the slogan that they gave you for their brand new feature. Developers or insiders are testing out this feature that will allow you to take your physical game off the shelf, throw it in your console, and digitize this game. Then you'll be able to transfer this to PC or wherever you want. It's essentially the best of both worlds, because if you were going to look at it, there's a lot of strengths of having a full digital library. You don't have to, for example, get off the couch and switch the game every single time you want to switch the game. Or you don't have to have that fear of losing or scratching the disc. But with physical games, you actually own that. You can lend it to a friend, you can sell it, whatever the case may be. This time around, you have everything. You have control of absolutely everything. From what I've seen, there is no downsides of doing a digitized sort of thing. If you wanted to sell it to a store, the next person who puts this disc into their console, they will be able to essentially take the license from you, which I don't see as a bad thing, because if they take your license, it's essentially like you have a physical game. Are you ever going to be able to sell a digital game? No, you're not. That is the big problem. That's a thing. It's kind of stuck there. You buy it, your money got shot into space and it's never coming back. But if it's physical, well, then you can sell it for whatever price you want. You can lend it to a friend. Do you want to try this game before you buy this game? Do you want to jump on the train of, I don't know, going to the store, the video game store, and picking up a game that you've never played before? That is the best things about physical, and it's a little bit scary to look at it if digital is going to be the new future, which it definitely doesn't seem like it is going to be. This is definitely the perfect thing. As we've seen so far, companies like to piggyback off each other, so I can definitely see Nintendo in the future bringing something to do with this sort of digital physical thing. They're probably going to let Xbox test it out, test the waters, test the market with what they have here, but after that, it's probably going to be incredible with the amount of companies that are going to do something very similar to this. Physical media isn't going away anytime soon, and I absolutely think this is awesome. Now, it's not just Xbox that we're here to talk about, but Nintendo as well. Nintendo has been making the right steps in the right direction for many years when it comes to physical media. There's not going to be a Nintendo experience when it comes to owning your games. Because if I were to go on the shelf right now and pick up my game, I know that my game will work immediately because the data is essentially all on the cartridge. So you don't need to put it in the console and download the whole thing before you play it. You can just grab your game and throw it in there and call it a day. Plus, these cartridges are built very premium, which means they'll probably last through decades and generations and generations. When it comes to a disc, yeah, I might scratch it a little bit, but with this digital to physical feature, it definitely equals out Nintendo and Xbox. Like with Xbox's feature, yes, you still have to download the entire game on the console, but I guess that's sort of what you do with digital as well. But with Nintendo, if you want the full physical future, the full physical features, well, you go to Nintendo and you have the actual cartridge, you have the actual right to play the game. If your account gets banned, well, nothing really happens because, well, I guess you'll lose your save data, but you still have that full game. Game key cards are definitely on a different level. They're kind of interesting when you look at it. You don't really have any data. The cartridge is probably like 52 kilobytes because it only has a certain amount of data that's like, okay, this is your access key to the game. So if you want to, you have to put it in there. You have to go to the eShop. If your account gets banned with that, well, you're still not going to be able to essentially go to the eShop because it's banned. So that is definitely one of those big gray areas. If the servers go down, there's been a lot of commentary about that. Is it going to stay up? Is it going to allow you to get the game? It's most likely not, because if the eShop shuts down, well, then you don't really have that access key to go to the eShop. So it's definitely really interesting on that part. Like if you were going to look at the Wii U and the 3DS, those are definitely really interesting. You can re-download software, but you're not going to be able to essentially buy software. So that is definitely a really interesting thing to look at. Will you be able to essentially re-down the game key card that you just bought, or is it not going to allow you to? Because if you were going to look at it that way, there definitely is an argument to be made that yes, you will be able to re-download that software, since it's pretty much accessing the servers that were once there to essentially say, yes, you have the ability to re-download this software, because that's technically a service that Nintendo still keeps up to this day. The Wii, it's been, what, 20 years since the shop actually shut down, and it still works pretty well. So obviously there is room for improvement, but it still works really well. Now, but overall, I find this disc to digital feature an absolute dream come true, because man, I am really excited to get into the Xbox interface just to put my games all on the computer, because I have all of these games, which is definitely really cool. So overall, this is just to say that physical media isn't going away. It is here to stay. It quite literally is here to stay. If you were going to look at movies, those have been actually selling more physically than they did last year at this time. Same thing goes with records. Same thing goes with music on disc. Quite not to the same extent, but it really does show. Look at video game stores. They've been selling a lot of video games. Going over there, getting yourself a Switch game, an Xbox game, a 3DS game, a DS game. Those are all things that obviously you want to stay. The only way to play the old Pokemon games, besides sailing the high seas, is to get them physically. So obviously, physical media is the best thing you could possibly think of. For example, one of my favorite games of all time is Skylanders. I'm on an ongoing hunt to try to find them all. I used to play them on the Xbox 360, but I wanted to try something brand new on the Wii U, which allows you to play in handheld mode on the Wii U gamepad. If it wasn't for physical media, I wouldn't be able to go and pick up these games again. Technically, you can sail the high seas for them, but we're not doing that. I'm only missing one, which is Skylanders Giants, and I'm hoping to go and get them. It just brings memories back to just go to the store, try to find one. It's just a whole bunch of fun. But overall, what are your thoughts about this new announcement? What are your thoughts about the gaming industry sort of shifting into a full physical sort of industry once more? Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it's not going to happen? Let me know in the comment section down below, and thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. Consider it that like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on the channel. Anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.